The exhibition at SHOPHOUSE is called Happiness TM. It's really about the pursuit of happiness and about imagining that pursuit as a real adventure, like as a mountain climber climbing a mountain, or a sailor trying to reach some kind of horizon. And it's also about reframing the idea of colour field and abstract painting as an adventure, maybe in making the work or even in looking at it, and thinking about the things that people might hope to find at the top of the mountain or in an abstract painting, and whether they might be similar. So, although I now live and work in London, I grew up in the countryside, in like a particular part of England where sailing is like a really big part of life. And I was growing up surrounded by all this gear and equipment and stuff for these kind of outdoor adventure sports. And I was always really fascinated by how things clipped together, or how sails were rigged and pulled tight, stretched, and how ropes went through cleats and pulleys. And it's still still really interests me, and obviously in making the work or suspending it, it clearly inspires it a lot. A lot of my paintings have carbon fibre stretches, which I make myself in the studio. So I've been thinking a lot recently about how the canvas might attach to them, because it seems a bit crazy to just stretch the canvas around the back and staple it in. So I've been thinking a lot about boat covers and canopies, and also sails, like the way that canopy clips onto the frame, or how a sail gets rigged onto a mast and a boom. So for a few of the works in SHOPHOUSE, I've installed eyelets into the front of the canvas and then kind of bolted the painting into the carbon frame. And this exposes the carbon fibre more and sets up a more interesting relationship between painting and object, the kind of the surface of the painting and the physical, heavy carbon fibre frame. There's one in the SHOPHOUSE exhibition which I'm really pleased with. It's a large one. It's two triangles that are kind of leaning against each other. It's like they're both kind of on their way somewhere. I mean, it's a diptych, really. I see them as individual paintings, but they slot into each other in a way that is almost quite romantic. they're leaning on each other. They're kind of supporting each other, but they're also kind of racing each other. They really remind me of sailboats as they're kind of lined up for the start of a regatta, kind of waiting for that moment. I was packing for an exhibition in Japan, and it was a large show, and I had lots and lots of bungees and carabiner clips and all sorts of things to install the work or attach frames that I had to do on site. So when I was packing, I had it all laid out on the floor, and very organised. Everything was kind of labelled for which painting this related to. I was kind of looking at this arrangement, and this felt like a piece of work as well. So, it's now about a year later, and I thought it'd be interesting to show this as a piece of work and present it in a vitrine. And the things I'm showing, they really kind of relate to the processes of making the paintings. I've included the thread that I use, or the eyelets, or the tool that punctures the hole that the eyelets go in. And it's really to show that the artworks are a lot more handmade than I think a lot of people expect. A lot of the kind of componentry is meant to look quite ready-made, but it's really very, very DIY and made in the studio.